或者是这个贷款公司，你可以比较一下什么是对你最有利的，然后要请对方提供一个写下来的估价，那这样你才可以真正的比较到底费用有多少，还有它的利率有多少。So here I'm sharing with you the tips of purchasing a house. So of course, we got to get ourselves ready. Means we need to know how much is our purchasing power. So in order to do that, you will need to have your W-2 pay stub, and these are the banker, whoever you work with, they will be able to tell you what you need, but these are the basic information. You need the W-2, you need the pay stub, you need the bank statements. And then in order to do the price shop, my recommendation is like when you fix up anything, you need to hire somebody to do the work. You need to get the, 3 comparison. So you can compare apple to apple and orange to orange. And in order to do that, sometimes talk is cheap. We have to have it in writing. So the good faith estimate will be able to help you to compare the rate and then also the itemized closing fee, because it's not just rate. You also need to know how much is the fee you are paying. Okay, and then the next one is, okay, this is also very important. A lot of lenders, they want to get your business. They say, okay, give me your social, and I'm going to run a pre-approval for you. Anybody can run a pre-approval for you, but in order for you to maintain your good credit score, I would strongly recommend that you only give one lender your social, because too many credit check, it will lower your credit score. So that's very important. And also, it's you comparing, when you're comparing the other buyer, when you found out, okay, there are multiple people fighting this house, and then you just keep going higher and higher for your bidding price. And sometimes you need to be careful when you reach out such a high price. The house may not be appraised for such a high price. So you may not be able to be approved for your mortgage, or you will need to come up to close the appraisal gap. And then make sure you do have a certified inspector to inspect your house for the general home inspection and the radon test. If this is the house you're going to stay in our region right now, it's also important to have a peace of mind to have a radon test. And of course, the title search will help us to make sure the title is clear. Some people may try to save some money, but it end up finding, what the title company can do. They can find that if the title is clear, without any judgment liens and without anything, against that title. So, we want to have a peace of mind. 这是我跟大家分享的哈，就是如果你要买房子，然后就是有很多人想要做你的生意他有可能说把你的社会安全码给我，那我可以帮你做一个，你就是一个被核准的可以贷款的人我的建议是不要把你的社会安全码给太多的人，因为这样的话会把你的信用的分数会降低。当我们决定好哪一家我们要用的时候，我们再把那个号码给人家，那这样的话可以对你自己有保障。那如果你知道有很多人跟你竞争要买这个房子的话，那我们就是要怎么样？我们要注意不要一直加高，一直加高，加到太高的话，你到时候贷款可能会贷不下来，因为这个房子可能评估下来没有这么多钱，所以你有可能贷款会被拒绝，或者是贷款的 appraise 就是评估出来的价值没有这么高，那你怎么办呢？你自己要出这一部分的钱，否则贷款公司不会付你，就是你的预付首付就要多一点那还有就是说，我们一定要检查房子，这样检查房子对我们有保障我们也可以安心现在有很多是测那个氡气，那个氡气对身体的影响蛮大的照我们的那个标准的话，就是应该要测一下，我们自己心里可以安心。那这个专业的我们的房仲都会告诉你，这些是必要的。那还有就是要查一下那个产权是不是有干干净净，有没有人欠债或者是欠税没有还，被人家拿了去质押还是怎么样，这样对你的话就是会有保障。那在这里的话，我跟大家分享的就是说，如果你要卖房子的话 我们有买也有卖嘛。如果你准备要卖房子，有很多，尤其是我们的社区有很多人准备退休了啊，准备搬到跟孩子住的靠近一点。现在的话就是你要卖房子的话，你要先准备什么呢？第一，你看这个图片上面的这个东西这么多，你的房子就不美了吧哈。所以我们就是要把东西清干净哈，把一些不要的东西通通丢出去，然后呢把家里弄得整齐一下哈。那也先问一下我们的房仲，大概我们的房价现在这个市场上是到底是差不多多少钱啊？然后如果家里有一些很快就可以修理好的，把它弄好，因为这样的话表示说我们做房屋主人的，我们也很在意我们的房子，也不会让房子就是坏了什么都不修不弄哈。然后就是也要把房子打扫干净，然后把房子就像一个包装嘛，把它包装的漂亮一点。So these are the tips for selling your houses. Okay, first you see the picture here. It's got a lot of stuff around the house. We need to make sure we unclutter your house and make sure the house is very organized. And then you can ask also the professional realtor to help you for doing a comprehensive market analysis, so you know how much the house will be, and it's helping you to know how much it should be your listing price. And if you have anything like a minor, like the window was cracked or something, the faucet falling apart, something small, you should take care of that. Cracked the peeling pans or whatever, that something is minor. I strongly recommend that you take care of that before you put a house in the market. And of course, we need to make sure the house is clean, no smell. And then if you have some furniture, you can make it nice. Some of the beautiful stuff, if it's not clean, it won't look pretty. So that's just the basic bottom line. Okay, this is something for you to compare. We know a lot of people like to do for sale by owner, and some people prefer to hire professional realtors. So I have a list of something here for a basic comparison. What's the cons and what's the pros? For sale by owner, definitely, you're looking for something cheap, that's what you can do. But the cons is very time consuming. A lot of people doing the Zillow or Facebook. You got a lot of scams and call, and you got to do all this own showing due to the COVID. You just put at your risk, for your family. So with the professional realtor, we take care of everything for you. And of course, we got to support our family as well. So, we do charge for the commission. But you won't get the call from the buyers directly. You have an agent to help you to take care of everything. You have an agent to pre-screen your pre-qualified buyers. If they are not pre-qualified buyers, the agent will not waste their time either. So, and then you have the MLS exposure for more buyers to compete, and then you can get a better price and a higher value. 所以这个是一个比较，就是有很多人喜欢怎么样自己卖。自己卖好吗？我可以跟大家讲，就是像你，我什么事我自己来做，我自己来做。可是你自己做的跟请人家做绝对是有差别。那我这里就是一个比较，这个比较是什么嘞？你自己来卖的话，当然你可以付少一点的钱，可是你付少一点的钱，你得到的结果是怎么样？你要花很多的时间，然后会很多人打电话给你。然后这些人打电话给你，到底是真的还是假的？我们有时候就是对一些我们不认识的人，我们要很小心。有时候这样反而引来什么样的结果我们不知道。有时候你很 lucky， 你就是真的卖出去了。可是有时候像现在 COVID 啊什么，你家里那么多人来，他是不是真的想来看，还是要来比较他想要去卖其他的房子，他要来看看你的房子状况是怎么样，所以这个是不知道。那你如果雇了专业的 realtor， 我们的房仲是做些什么呢？当然房仲自己也要生活，房仲你需要付一个费用给他，可是呢房仲你雇到好的房仲，他会帮你 take care 所有的事情，一直到你整个房子卖掉。然后他会跟对方的 房仲合作就是怎么样，这些人要买主都已经是事先已经查过了，因为如果说这些人没有已经被银行核准了，他对方带来也是浪费他的时间嘛，所以这个是很重要。还有我们把它登上去，这个 multiple 我们叫 MLS， 就是 multiple listing， 所有人都可以看得到。你登上去以后，无论什么媒体，通通可以看得到。那你这样会吸引更多人来，那更多人去竞争的话，你的价钱就可能更好。那这个是一个比较图哈，就是让你看，就是 for sale by owner 跟我们的 agent 买的是到底是怎么样。This is a basic comparison for you to see. Some people are visual, more visual learner. You can see, sold by agent, you get a much higher value. 所以你这里可以卖到很高的价钱。如果你用房仲的话，这个不是我自己编出来，这个都是有一个数据的一个调查。那我刚刚讲了很多，接下来我就是有一些人对图片比较敏感一点，所以我们就用图片来展示到底现在是怎么样。现在呢，就是如果你想要卖的话，现在是非常好的时机。为什么现在很？这是我们史上有来利率最低的，现在是低于3了哈。以前买10几%都在买了，现在是低于3那个利率，市场的利率。然后有很多人急着要买房子，为什么呢？因为我们已经待了1年的 COVID 很多人一直在家里，现在打了疫苗以后，大家出来该做的事还是要做家里小孩要读书要做什么？那现在的趋势就是说，很多人可以卖到比你平常的平均价值还要高。So this is, what I'm trying to do here. It's, if you need help for listing your house in the market, this is the time. Why it is the time? Such a historical low interest rate. And then we have a very high demand in homes because, we've been staying in the house due to COVID for a year. Right now, you can see there are more houses coming out because, we are vaccinated and people are coming out, and whatever they need to do that delay for a year, now is the time. Okay. And then with that competition, you get the more value of the higher value of your home. And as I said, I like to use the chart to show you what's going on. And this is the active listing counter from the MLS. I ran this report from the multiple listing. So you can see the trend from this month, this January 2016, all the way to current. And you can see the trend. There was not enough inventory in the market. 这个图是告诉你我们登出来上市买的，从2016年一直到现在，你看这么少，差了这么多，所以现在为什么很多人要出来买房子？因为都没有房子在卖啊，已经这么少了，已经低了1半以上了。那这个资料是我们从我们 multiple listing 我弄的 report。那另外这一个呢，是要让你知道那个时间大概蓝色的线是list price， 你看这个价钱已经变这么高了那绿色的是days to sell， 日子越来越少了现在只有差不多15，那你可以比较。This is the chart to represent the green line is days to sell, and then blue line is the list price. So you can see the trend right now. You get a higher value, and then it takes less days to sell your house. And this is another chart. As I said, I ran just for the Cuyahoga County, and you can see the green is the original price, and then the blue is the sale price. So it's kind of up and down, but it's overall, and depends on which city you are living. And if you want to know your city, I'll be more than happy to run your city's chart for you from the MLS as well. But this is overall in Cuyahoga County. 那这个图是代表什么呢？绿色的是代表原来的价钱， 蓝色的是代表卖出去的价钱，这个是整个我们的Cuyahoga County。那你如果需要知道你现在住的城市是什么样呢？我可以替你 run 一个 report 让你知道。所以这个分析就是我们的房仲都可以帮你做。然后这些是所有的有上市的房子的资料所以这个是最公正的资料。This is very reliable data from the MLS. Whoever sold the unlisted property at the MLS, it's not from any party, any interest party from Zillow or anywhere. This is from the MLS that I'm referenced to. This is another chart to show you, the sales. Okay, and again, it's in Cuyahoga County, and then you can see it's coming back. It's coming back. It's dropped so low. The number of the house has been sold. So 这个图是代表什么？这个number of the house has been sold. It's coming back. And this chart is showing you the sale price in green, and then the active listing, the number of active listing. So you see the number of active listing all the way down here, 越来越低。这是 blue line 是蓝色是代表列出来市场卖的数量那绿色是代表卖出去的价格。所以你可以看得出来，现在的价格非常好，因为怎么样？它的出来卖的房子很少This is also showing you the trend. Okay, it's you get higher value, and because the number of house listed in the market was so low, it dropped from this end all the way down here. 那我们这讲到说，你买卖房子，就是说你也要保护我的我的题目里面也有讲到说，我们要保护我们的资产那保护资产也有可能就是说这些原因你的房子会被拍卖，那我们怎么样好好的保护我们的资产？这个就是我下面要讲的。So there, the topic is also for our property protection. These are the cause of the foreclosures. So with all the unemployment and credit card debt, you know how hard it is with the COVID. Somebody, may lose the job or whatever the reason or your medical condition, it can happen to that way. So in order to protect our asset, this is from the NBC News is talking about the real reason most American file for bankruptcy. This is a lot of reason is related to the medical bill, medical reason, and also their family members. If they have a student loan or different kind of factor. 这是一个 NBC 的消息，告诉大家 CNBC 告诉大家为什么有人宣告破产呢？就很大的原因就是跟你的身体健康，还有你的需要的一些医疗费用，还有家里的成员有一些贷款或者是负债那我这里有一个比较就是中间这一栏是比较，就是我们有一些人会买一个叫做那个 traditional 的 mortgage protection。那现在有一个就是 advanced mortgage protection plan 所以这边是 traditional， 这个是新的 advanced mortgage protection。那你可以比较说traditional 的traditional 它是你买那个 mortgage protection 的话，它就没有什么 future value。那你买的这个有 cash value 的话，对你有一些更好的保障。那这边也有讲到就是说现在有讲到有很多就是 long-term care， 或者是你到底是要 protect 什么东西？是要 protect 的只有你的 mortgage 呢，还是有其他的policy 可以保护你的房子，保护你的资产。So this one is a comparison between the traditional mortgage protection and also the advanced mortgage protection plan. So if anybody is interested, I can, explain further in detail. But it's just kind of giving you, some information to think about it when you have the asset. What do you need to protect yourself and your family? And then this one is also, I work with the tax accountant. I'm also an accountant, but I don't do the tax. And then I also have the attorney that I work with. In general, a lot of people will ask me, "Oh, Grace, I want to buy the asset property, but does my asset being calculated as a capital gain?"有很多人会问我，因为我自己也是会计哈，他会问我说：“哎，Grace，我要买这个房子，可是我怕我房子出售了以后有赚钱，那我会被列作capital gain，那这样怎么办呢？”我有这个 tax accountant，他可以帮忙你，就是说到底什么现在的 rule 是怎么样呢？基本的话就是说，你只要住在那边2年，在过去的5年住了2年，你这个就是没有被 classify as a capital asset 啊。那当然我们有一些人是只有不是绿卡哈，他是有一些国外的投资的，那国外的投资它就有不一样的。那还有人讲到说，哎呀，我怕会有遗产税啊什么的。那现在就是说我们大家都知道了 ，gift tax 就是1年15万可以免 gift tax 嘛，哈。所以有关于这个 tax 方面的消息我们有专门的tax accountant，所以可以帮忙你。所以这边的话就是讲到税的部分哈，有很多人就是会问我这些问题。So here there are some tips for sharing with everybody. A lot of people ask me, if I sold the property, would it be considered a capital gain or not? And how about my estate tax exclusion? So I have some basic information here for you, but I also work with the tax accountant who can speak the mentoring as well. So if anybody need help, I'll be more than happy to set up one-on-one meeting. So this will be my presentation. 这个就是我今天的presentation. 如果有任何的问题，我现在就是可以在这里为大家服务如果有任何的问题，so now this is the end of my presentation. So if anybody has any questions regarding the real estate, if anything I can help you, I will be more than happy to do it right here. And I also have the support team. If anybody's question that I need to reach out to the support team, we'll be glad to help you here. 所以我们现在就把 floor open 给大家如果有任何的问题请大家提出来，谢谢大家。Thank you. That's my presentation. And so if anybody would like to speak up for your question, I'll be more than happy. And also the support team will be here for you as well.
Reminder. Okay, you have to unmute. Remember, if you're going to ask a question, got to unmute first. Tammy, we couldn't hear you.
I just want to ask if anybody has a question. I did have a question. My friend just recently put his house on market, and he was asking me about the commission. What is percentage of commission you usually charge for?
Okay, the commission question, I guess it depends on the house and depends on the situation. But our broker is very willing to work with the parties who would like to bring the listing to us. So we don't really set a general, a set rate. Some broker or some agent, they may charge a flat rate. Some may do the percentage, for the commission. But that's a very good question, Tammy, because in general, a lot of people will charge 7%. Okay, that's kind of industry standards. But think about it, if you keep negotiating the commission rate, sometimes it affects the other party as well, because it's usually is the seller pay the commission. But if I list your home and you are the seller, I took your listing, I have to offer the commission to the buyer's agent. So if you keep saying, hey, Grace, let's do a low one. So then I have to pay my broker. Everybody got to be paid. Then we end up with really low commission to start with. And then we don't have too much to offer to the buyer's agent. You got to be able to be comparable. If other is offering 3% to the buyer's agent, you do too. It somehow, in general, in our professional standard, we shouldn't just look at the commission rate to determine which house I want to bring my client to see that, But, you never know because if that's the industry standard and then you lower the ballpark, then you end up, it's not really good for putting yourself in a disadvantaged position. So I would say it's a negotiable, but when you negotiate the rate, you have to always look at what kind of service your agent can bring it for you. Okay, don't just discuss if somebody will sell me a cheap stuff, but it's got a bad product, you losing your money. 所以我现在讲的意思就是说，如果我们只是出去外面讲说啊，你要给我多少利率，怎么样，你的费用是多少？我们把费用减得很低了，那到这个费用怎么很多人不理解啊？这个就卖方出费用，我buyer没差，buyer有差的。为什么是有差？因为我今天如果我们一般的市场上是7%，那也有人就是收一个固定的费用。那固定的费用，我们要付给对方的 agent， 因为两方都有做事嘛，所以我们要把我们跟你签约的这个费用又跟别人分。那如果说你压得很低，我们根本没有多少可以跟人家分，因为我们自己也要付给我们的 broker 嘛，还要把它上市，用这些软体，然后用这些 showing， 你就不用去做什么事情。可是你压得很低的时候，你会发现，有的 agent 不是很好，他看到你的利率那么低，他就不带人来看了。这个我们不知道他们的心理是怎么样，所以我们不要去谈这个 commission 是多少，我们应该要谈这个人能够帮你做些什么，这个 agent 能够帮你做什么。因为这个 agent 如果人家带来的人或是怎么样，他没跟你讲，你怎么知道？还有就是很多人做了生意以后就跟你 say goodbye 就走了那你因为他觉得他也没有跟你关系，我只是一个交易嘛，我就是帮你做生意。可是对我来讲呢，我的每一个客户都是我的朋友，我把他们的事情就当做我的事情。这也为什么我说这些 community service 很重要，因为我的心是要服务大家，我希望我的客人能够拿到最好的，他卖到最好的价钱，他买到他希望的房子，以最低的价钱能够买到。那这个又是你的专业的 agent 能够去帮你跟人家议价，怎么样很专业的去跟人家议价，不是随便像菜市场出去给他乱杀价或者怎么样，我们要合理。然后如果价钱太高的话，我也不会希望我最近买的这个房子，今天我在的这个房子也是现在正在 inspection， 它已经开到很高了，那我当然希望我的买方能够买低一点，他跟我说他可以怎么样，可以 offer 怎么样的价钱，可是我觉得这个房子应该怎么样，那我会用我实际的以我的经验去跟他讲。所以我们最好的话就是不要去讨论那些，你应该是先注意这个 agent 能不能帮你做事，再便宜的事情没有做好，再给你再低的，然后没有把事情做好，你就是浪费钱。So I just use the different language to try to tell you the most important is the quality of the service. It's not about the commission, but of course it's your money, but we have to be reasonable and instead of just bargaining to the really low price and nobody will be able to do anything, but it will impact the selling of your home. So that's my answer. And sorry for the long answer, but I just try to, educate our group, how this works.
We've got a question in the chat. Somebody's asking, is it wise to buy land and build your own house that's not in a subdivision? And will the construction mortgage rate be much higher?
This is a tough question. It all depends on the area. When we, as a realtor, I always told my client, location, location, location. If you are buying or selling your home at the not really a favorable location, and I will say, no, consider in the future, selling, not just, okay, you just want to buy. I'm already talking about selling. I'm sorry. You have to kind of look down the road in the future. To compare to buy a land and building a home, it's two questions, it's a long process. In here with our weather, it takes a lot, some of the builder, you don't want to rush. You want to make sure have a good construction quality. Usually I would say around 6 months from you secure the land until you build. I built a home before, a brand new, but it's really a torture, especially if you have a partner or you have somebody significant. You will have a lot of opinion about which selection you want to do, especially the custom build. But if you buy something like, Party, they have everything is already packaged. It just make the color selection and they already have the supplier. That is a little bit simpler compared to custom. Custom is, you think about every single little things. You have to go out to find which one you want. And sometimes the pricing one, they give you, okay, this is a standard price. This is considered upgrade charge. At the end, what you like is always with your premium taste. So you end up paying a lot of extra for, and then that's how you bump to head and head, say, look, this is my budget. We already over the budget. You cannot go with that line. So, but anyway, about the in the subdivision and the homeowner association, the house, it depends. Some people prefer to stay in the subdivision, got a nice neighborhood and consistent, everybody nice. Not building something, a shed or something else, they not allow you. Some people feel, I don't want to be controlled by the HOA. I don't want to get approved and I don't want to pay the fee. I don't know where my fee go. Okay, so there are always pro and con. So you pick whatever it works best for you. But the most important is you ask the HOA if it's already established upon homeowner association. And again, your realtor will help you to get that, their HOA rules. What kind of rules are they? Are you think those are reasonable rules? And also to know how much the fees and where are your fees applied to? Does that apply to snowplow and landscaping or just outside common area? So you need to kind of see if that fee is acceptable to you. 所以如果说你要住在社区或住在自己的就是普通的 city 的路这个都是跟你的地点有很大的关系。住在哪里，无论你是要盖房子或者是买一个现成的房子，地点是非常重要，因为地点没办法改变。
Yeah, there's another questions on the chat.
Yeah, the one is since it's a seller's market, is it, a couple of people have asked it, is it wise to wait maybe another 1 to 2 years to buy a new house?
It depends. If you really need it right away, you need to buy. Okay, there is no waiting. You've been waiting for a long time. But if you think you want to wait until a few years later, you never know. The house price maybe keep going up. Right now, we see everything is going up. The lumbers, material, you hire all the contractor, everything is higher. The majority purchase a home, they need to do, unless you have a brand new construction, you buy a home previously occupied, you need to do some kind of modification or renovation. So if the house renovation material labor continue going up, I would suggest don't wait. Just do it right now based on what you can do. But if you don't like to get into the bidding war, it's not everything is a bidding war right now. Depends. Everybody prefer a different pricing range. and a different location of the home. You know, as my child earlier, you still be able to see some of the home, they sold less than the listing price. Don't think about the market right now. Everything is go over the listing price. No, it's not necessary. And sometimes it depends on if you are lucky. A lot of time when my client likes something, when the first day hit on the market, we were there. Okay, I have a several, in the past 2 months, I would say timing is also very important. When my client likes something on the first day, that night I wrote the offer. And I put my offer valid for 24 hours because I want to secure that home. I don't want anybody else to come here to bid with me. If we can offer a good price, that's the strategy. But I can share with my client or anyone my strategy because I treat everybody is very important in this tight market. Timing, pricing, location is must, very important. If your professional realtor can do that for you, that's great.
We have a
Okay.
couple
I got a question.
follow-up questions.
I
Chat.
I have a one question. When home is so important, so-called home sweet home, I want to select a good home for my retirement and valuable. My home is value. So there is two kind of home. One is building with frame wood and a building with brick. I like brick because
Your thumb.
building with a frame, you have to paint 3 years or 5 years, otherwise it will destroy. Brick lasts longer, but the brick house mostly more expensive. Brick house is about 20,000 or 30,000 more than frame house. So I still recommend people to buy the brick house. But my living house now is brick, so I don't worry about the
Grace,
paint.
Tom,
what
what's your question?
do you say to that, Grace?
Yes, thank you for your comment. It's a comment about a brick home. You prefer the house built with brick, and it's a
And
stronger, less
house-
trouble. Yes.
In my experience, a house basement is more important. If basement not good, that house not good.
Okay.
Basement leakage.
Hmm.
That's a trouble. That when you buy a house,
Mike had a question, I think.
I
Mike.
got a question. Somebody told me that if you want to sell your house, you should remodel or paint and whatever, spruce up your house to sell. And another opinion is that okay, you sell, just keep the money and just pay the buyer to renovate. Okay, what is the approach? Best approach?
The question, this question again, I will relate it to the location again. If the location wise, your house in a very unique location, everybody competing to get your house, it depends on how much work need to be done. And that is also the other reason you want to have a professional realtor to take a look at the comprehensive market analysis, how about the housing price there and how much work it's needed to be done. Because it takes time and also it affects the quality of your life when you have a contractor over there. Unless it's a vacant property or a rental property, you will let the tenant move out and then to do a significant renovation. If you are in a very desirable location, I have one recently by participating in the last seminar, I have several parties from the Taiwanese group contact me and he asked me, should I sell it right now or should I make it nicer so I can get the higher value? I would say that house in that location, it's a rental property. If you disclose your current rental income, you can sell that right now.
Yeah.
But you probably will not get as much as you can. Depends on what's your expectation. You are expecting you spending the time and effort to put a house in the market and then spending the money and material for the renovation. It may take several months. You may need to wait in the line to get a contractor. And then at the end, when you get that much additional value that you put in there, it's kind of hard to say, but most of the time, if you put a house in the market, you test it, within 2 weeks, you don't have a lot of buyers. You don't have a lot of people coming to see, you know how it goes. You got to put a renovation in place. But we also can show you what is the price range under this condition. You know, everybody is using online portal now. You can see the picture of the home to decide compared to your own home. Okay, with that condition, this is how much they are selling. But with your condition, you know what's going on, how much you trying to get. Is your house comparable to the other home? But that's a very big question about if, you know, you should put the money and effort to renovate your home. Because I can, if you live in that home and that it's created a lot of dust and created a lot of health issue for your family, a lot of inconvenience, you may need to think about it before you put that your big investment for renovation. But if the renovation is minor, more cosmetic stuff, some painting, you know, changing the flooring. But when you talk about to take down the whole wall, open up your kitchen and doing a large renovation, you do need to think about it if the money, before you put the money there.
Thank you.
We've got another question in the chat box relating back to what you talked about. A couple things. One is, what is suggestion about bidding on houses for auction, and can you explain the process? And the other, is there a best time of year to list your house?
I may need to check with my management team for the auction, because right now the house, unless you put it for the short sale in the market, some people may put a yard sign, there is an auction, but actually those auction, I personally try to bid the auction price, but they start with really low price. And surprisingly, that's the way to attract you to be there to put your written auction price. It end up the house is sold a much higher price. It's not really a good deal, but again, every situation is different. So that's for the auction. And then the other, I would say, again, you want to put the house in the market. Right now, this is the time. You ask me when is the best time. The school is going to be over by the end of this month. Everybody is getting ready. If they want to move it to other district, it takes at least 1 month. If you have a mortgage, 6 weeks to close. People ask me how long it will take. With the COVID, those underwriter banker, they work from home. It takes longer. The title takes longer. So I would suggest do not wait. You know, if you need to put it in the house, put it in the house now. This is perfect timing. The weather is good. People love to move while the weather is not bad.
I have 2 questions. The first one is easy. It's like, I think you mentioned about usually the buyer hire the inspector, right? But I see recently there's the seller, the realtor asked for the seller to have the inspection. Is that weird? That's the first question.
Yes.
Second question is that does nowadays the realtor is mostly connected to the related field, so that way they can kind of recommend for repair or something like that. Then they have some people in mind to recommend for the seller to improve the house.
And thank you for your question regarding the inspection. The inspection, usually you are correct. You have very good knowledge. It's the buyer before they proceed further. You can hire a professional inspector to inspect the home. So then you use the condition to either negotiate or move forward. But nowadays, because the house, the seller try to get the higher value, they may label themselves, hey, look, I inspect my house, this is the inspection report. I let you see it, and they try to get the quick deal. Means I label myself, it's like you don't have a health condition. I want to show them, and so I can get a better value. Maybe they can do a quick turnaround without going through the inspection. But a lot of time, if I am the buyer, do you want to trust that the seller's inspection report?
That's the
You know,
part.
I rather hire somebody I feel I can trust, and some of the stuff, each inspector may be different. So they use seller's inspection report, try to tell you, you don't need to do another inspection report, and you can just buy the property without going through the inspection. But again, everybody can use their own judgment if how much you want to trust that. And then the second question you have is about the contractor, or whoever need to do in our professional field. It's always 3 referral. You can choose which one you want to use, but a lot of time, a lot of people don't want to be liable. If I found that some of the contractor is not that good, I don't want to put my name out there with, okay, these are the contractor. I'd rather say you hire your own, but that's the easiest way. But a lot of clients, they do not know who will be good. So I do put out something, oh, you need an electrician. These are 3 certified electricians. You can do the price shop, you can check their work. But for me, if somebody wanted my recommendation, I got to see their work first. I don't just go by the price. You hire somebody with a cheap price, with lousy job, you waste your time, you waste your money.
Yeah. Another question we have in the chat box is, when is a good time to buy rental properties?
The rental property, I would say at any time you can buy rental property, but people change job. Like recently I got a professional people from the Case Western or the Cleveland Clinic. The school is end in May. We have a lot of turnover for the student or for professional changing the job in the summertime. Depends on the area. If you are close to the school area, they go by this time. They will have the new tenants. And again, I have investor from out of state investor, and they even have an insole. There's a lot of you don't have repair and deal with the tenant. All you need to do is get your direct deposit of your rental income. So that's what we do. And I do have a couple of properties because my client likes me so much. So I have to talk to my manager. I talked to my director, Barbara Babcock. I said, I got all these people, they trust me, they speak the language, they wanted me to continue to provide the service to them after they purchase these rental property. What can we do? I end up being a property manager. Okay, but I don't just go out to seek out property management. I manage the client who hire me as a realtor, and they purchase the rental property. So that way they don't have to deal with all these people because they trust me. I have people come to our region, our Cleveland area. They never seen the house. They trust me. What I did is Facebook. Okay, I do the you can do your iPhone, you can just do your video, and then I video everywhere in the house, in the neighborhood, and I have a homeowner is moving in. without seeing the property physically. And this is how much I'm very confident I can do a very good job for our community, and people trust me, because if you hire somebody you know or you check, and you will know if you can rely on what they said and what they do. And that's what I do. I do everything for our community and for my client. My client already closed that $1 million home. Yesterday, asked me, oh, I got an electrical disconnect. I got this, can you run there for me? And I got the spectral coming over. I'm not saying I need to do all these. I'm just, if something not convenient and the time fit on my schedule, they ask me how much I charge. How can I charge my friend or my neighbors or my client? I just not that type of person. I like to have friends, and I like to, because you never know when you need help. You need somebody's help. And to be a sincere person to help our community, it's my honor. I've been trusted, and then I can say I'm a reliable person, and I will continue to be a good asset for our community, to be a good citizen here.
Excuse me, I'll ask you a question. I may miss introduction. So what broker you are with? Are you an agent?
Oh, yes. Yes. And then thank you for asking that question again. I work for the Berkshire Professional Realty, and we are a professional home service. We don't just buy and sell property. We do the property management, and we do the relocation. We help whoever move from the out of state. We can do everything. If you want to buy and sell the property out of Cleveland, out of Ohio, contact me. I will be able to refer a professional realty in that region for you as well. So don't hesitate to contact me, even though it's not in the Northeast Ohio, Cleveland, Greater Cleveland area. If you are thinking about moving to Phoenix, moving to California, moving to somewhere, contact me first. I will be able to provide a referral to you as well.
What's the symbol? BHHS. Can you spell out?
It's a Berkshire Hathaway Professional Home Service. Berkshire Hathaway Home Service. Yeah, Berkshire. Let me go back to Berkshire Hathaway Professional Home Service. Yeah.
Grace, can you post the PowerPoint? So
yes, you can see this is our logo, Berkshire Hathaway Home Service Professional Realty. So we are, we are a professional home service. We don't just sell and buy and sell, and we have the branches everywhere, not just in the United States, in a different country.
It's listed in your chat also. So
okay, next question is there such a thing as a dual agent? If it is, how did that work out?
Is a seller and also buyer agent?
Yeah, dual agent.
Okay. We generally don't like to act as a dual agent, because dual agent, you have to kind of maintain your independence, not, in between. So usually I represent the seller or I represent the buyer. If I have another person who is selling the home for sale by owner, in general, the contract I wrote, I represent the buyers. And then there is no seller's agent. You are just an individual. But yes, you can act as dual agent, and the Ohio Real Estate did allow you to do that. We have to disclose in the agency disclosure form. So in agency disclosure form, if there is seller's agent or the buyer's agent, we have to disclose. If it's a dual agent, you have to disclose you are a dual agent. You can maintain your professionalism by acting as a dual agent, and you can act as the other party without agent. And so one agent represent the seller or the buyer.
Might that be a conflict of interest if they do that?
Yeah, it could be, depends on how you do it. So that's why we try not to do a dual agent. If say it's a property, we may say the other party did not have an agent. We will say, do you want to hire an agent? We can refer you another agent to represent your best interest. But if the party say, no, I don't want an agent, I'm just my agent. Like you file a lawsuit, you can be without attorney, you act for your own. But are you able to represent yourself well? That's your decision. We cannot force somebody, to hire an agent if they don't want to, right? If they feel they can act everything as a professional agent, then we said, okay, then we just disclose. I represent the seller. You are representing yourself.
Grace,
Okay, the last question.
Okay, good.
Go
ahead.
A while ago you mentioned gift tax. Sounds like it's not 150,000, it's 15,000 without.
Yes, that's correct. If I did not say that right, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
it's
think you
15,000.
sounds like
Yeah.
150,000, but.
Oh, no,
yeah.
I'm sorry. If I said that, that's incorrect. It's $15,000 per year per person. Okay, so like a grandparents want to give their grandchildren, you are the, if say I'm the grandma, I give my one grandkid for 15,000. And then if there is a grandpa want to give the grandkid another 15,000, yes, you can do that. Okay, it's just one per person per year. And so you may get the more than, 15,000, but each person is 15,000 per year.
Yeah.
So is that, so 1 to 1 is 15,000, you can give as many as possible.
Oh, yes. But you cannot give more than 15,000 to the same person.
Each person,
yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
We have another question in the chat. It's how do you normally charge for property management services and what type of services are included?
Excellent question. In general, the property management industry standard is about 10% of the rent. That's kind of general standard, but each property management may charge slightly different. I'm just giving you the ballpark. In general, it's 10% of the rent. And any other service, like if there was a repair or anything need to be done, you consult with the owner, if you want to move forward and just get the quote. If there is any eviction is needed, we have the attorney for helping. I have an investor. She's an attorney. She's out of state, and she said if there is a need for doing the eviction, she's not going to bother to come here or to do anything. So she would like to use whoever is already familiar with the eviction process with the fee. So that's all part of the service. If the tenant did not pay the rent, within the 3 days, by following the lease agreement, and we take care of all the lease agreement as well with the tenant. And if the tenant did not pay the rent, we give them the three-day notice. They have to move out. So these are the things we have established procedure and process to help our landlord, our client.
Hey, Grace, I got a question. Can you make your PowerPoint available to everybody?
Oh, yes, sure. I will send that to Tammy. If anybody need it, I'll be more than happy to share the PowerPoint. And again, anything not in the PowerPoint, in my wisdom in my head here, I'll be more than happy to set up one-on-one. If you would like to have my service, and I'll be glad to help you, for your needs.
The person that asked about the management services had this follow-up. Is monthly P&L report included?
Monthly P&L is
Profit loss.
Profit loss. Yeah, we have the statement that's available to our landlord. And as I said, we have the professional system that track down your profit and also if you are selling the property, usually they ask to provide the rent roll is showing when the tenant has paid their rent. And we also do a market analysis when it's time before the year the lease is expired. We doing a market analysis to let you know in general how much is the current market rent. So that's giving you some information on how much you should increase your rent. So that's part of the service. So, you know, think about these investors. They don't live in our region. So how will they know that street or around that area, how much the rent should be? Okay, and also let everybody know if anybody interested in the Cleveland property, there are all different kind of program that's available by using the government voucher. We're talking about the Section 8 property, we talk about the Eaton program. That's how we can help all these people to have a place to stay instead of seeing a lot of people on the street. But these are all the resources from our government, you know, from the CMHA or from the different program. So I'll be glad to help you as well if there is a need. But again, our property management, you know, it's a full service that we can provide all the service you needed.
Thank you, Grace. Now we try to wrap up by 2:15. So I give opportunity to anyone for last question, and we have to be close. Thank you. Anyone has some more question?
Grace?
Yes.
Do you welcome someone who has planned to sell the house for you to come in and to evaluate, to assess the house, see whether some improvement need to be made? These are for long-term possibilities. Yeah.
Yes. So usually that's a great question again. Usually, if you have a professional realtor in your mind, your professional realtor will come to your homes to do an evaluation for you and to give you a suggestion. But again, as a realtor, we provide that as a part of the free service. We are not compensated until the house was sold. So think about it, you know, if we go out there, we keep going, and then you end up, you know, I know our group is pretty good, especially with me. You may doing a lot of market analysis or whatever, but, you know, some people end up hire a different agent. We truly don't feel that is good, you know, for anybody, because whoever is providing the great service, you know, that means you like them, you can interview them, they can take a look at house for you. If somebody say, hey, you have to hire me, and I can do a market analysis for you. I'm sorry, I'm not that type of person, because I've been helping out the community. I'm not going to say, hey, if you want me to do a market analysis, you have to sign a contract with me. So yes.
Thank you.
Is your company one of the Warren Buffett's branches?
Yes.
Subsidiary? Huh?
Yes,
Yeah.
Warren Buffett, you are correct.
Okay.
We are
Sounds like
expanding
very
our
well.
business.
Okay, good.
Very
Okay.
knowledgeable. Thank you
Okay.
for that
Thank you,
comment.
thank you.
I
Thank
know
you.
our management team probably can speak up better than me, but I am very greatly appreciated. I have a strong management team from our Berkshire Hathaway professional team to
Yeah.
support me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they can tell you all these good things about our company. And I'm proud I'm working for Berkshire Hathaway Professional Realty, and our business is growing in our region.
So I
Congratulations.
recommend every time you start speaking, you just mention Warren Buffett.
Okay.
Thank you,
Amy,
Greg.
so
We have learned a lot from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then I'm glad that you learned a lot. 谢谢 Tammy 姐，还有
Okay.
Mike， 还有我们的 Brian， 今天的机会让我有这个机会跟大家分享。Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share my information and knowledge with our community. I greatly appreciate it. If anybody need any further additional assistance, I'll be glad to help you. And you have my contact information. on my first slide, and I'll share my slide with whoever would like to see my slide. So these are my presentation for today, and then thank you, and I hope everybody enjoy the great weather today. And if you need to contact me, this is my information. Thank you.